There's been some, discussion here and there about technological and other efficiencies that can be utilized in your office. There's also brought up a little bit about budget issues and the fact that, of course, technologies can oftentimes be extremely expensive, and they're competing with lots of other things in the county budget. And so I'd like you to discuss what you feel are the most important priorities that you see in technology that must be done, that you must advocate for. How expensive are they going to be, and how do you look to the county board or the county executive to include these things in the budget? Scott?
Well, I'm sort of in a unique position as someone who will oversee the county budget and has for years. I think I'll be the strongest advocate by far of anyone up here for resources for the county clerk's office. I will say that the idea that there will be competition of resources is true, but mostly that's on the operating budget side. Under the state law, levy limits apply to your operating budget, but debt service on capital projects is exempt. So when you do a large purchase of equipment, say for voting machines or others, that will not compete with hiring a social worker or fixing University Avenue. So I think when knowing the county budget, having worked closely with the supervisors and the county executive, again, having Joe Parisi strongly back my candidacy will help me be able to get the resources we need in that office. Not just for voting machines, which are really important. They are getting old, although they're very reliable. As someone who's been through a recount myself and seen the ballots and seen how well those machines perform, I like those old machines personally. But they are getting old and they're not as reliable as they used to be. So we can work through that and other issues in the county budget, and I think I'm uniquely positioned to do that.
I'd like to start with an immediate correction. The machines are just as reliable as they've always been. We keep them serviced in meticulous shape, and no one should have any doubts that the age of the machines is jeopardizing the integrity of our elections in any way whatsoever.
Well, I don't think I said that.
Yeah, but the problem with our machines is that it's like we're running a fleet of Model Ts and there are no replacement parts available. They work great, and my concern is that we make sure that we bring them up to date before we can no longer service them. I just think it's very important that we make sure that we know that those machines are working very, very well for our voters. I'm glad to hear that my opponent is willing to advocate for sufficient funding in the capital budget for our election equipment. I look forward to that new position. I'm very glad to hear it. I look forward to working with you when as you continue to be county board chair, and making sure that we can aid our municipalities by putting election equipment and upgrades on the capital budget. Like I said, I wish that had happened when Bob Olson was still clerk.
Talking about the equipment, and one of the things that I have thought about is that it's probably innovative. I think that if there is no funding or the funding is proposed and not approved, my suggestion would be to at least try to do some what I would call testing, pre-testing, and have some equipment come in, because as Mr. Guido pointed out, the equipment is reliable, but what if, and I think that we've talked about the integrity of the office and honest elections, etc., does not function. And I know that the state, federal, and also local level do a lot of testing on it, but nothing is bulletproof here in this respect. But buy a couple machines and see how that will work out, and have them on standby in case we have that problem down the road. So that would be my suggestion. And of course, I respect my colleague here that talks about putting that in the budget. That would be great. So I would be supporting something like that.
Of course, the focus is on the new equipment. We can't bring that new equipment into the county until the Federal Election Administration Council and the State Administration Council has certified it. Once that is done, then the county does need to go forward as a group. The state did it with our HAVA machines, our handicap machines. And one mass purchase and training sessions is the only way you can go on a county this size. Now, technology doesn't always have to cost money. streamline the forms, working with GAB, with some of the forms they have, and then what's required on the county level. There's a lot of things we do that are just redundant. We do them 3 or 4 different ways for 3 or 4 different entities. I think the county clerk has to really promote and work with the municipal clerks as well as the GAB to streamline those, so there is one way of doing it. The other thing, I don't think it really would cost a lot of money, is GAB has already put the money into the project, and it should be released soon, in the next few months, is the online voter registration. So the voters will be able to go on the internet and register to vote. I think the county clerk will be a vital link in that by working with the various groups, entities that have computers already, libraries and schools, different types of entities like that, and provide trained clerks or trained election officials to work with the voters so they can register online and get it done before the election, which would save a lot of time and expense for the municipalities as well. So some technology will cost money, but sometimes it doesn't always cost money. It's just streamlining.